Well, we are live on YouTube. It is officially 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Thank you all for joining me. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. Today's date is Sunday, December 5th, 2021. Joining me off camera this week is my dad, and then we've got Amy over here off camera on the couch. She's not feeling well today. Um, for some reason, it looks a little dark on my screen. Hey, that's enough. Oh, Barkley says hello too, everybody. So, for some reason, that looks dark on the screen. Might have to kind of swing that over a little bit. See like the dark area? Well, now it's really dark. What are you doing? Okie doke, that'll work. That'll work. But I'm so glad that everybody could join me this week for the Sunday video update. Lots to talk about. Right now, it's snowing outside, like really super hard. We are currently under a winter weather advisory until 10 o'clock at night, I believe. I'll have to check my sources here in a minute, but we are expecting at least a couple inches of snow. Come here. Now you're going to stop that while I'm doing this. We're expecting at least a couple inches of snow, and the northernmost parts of Michigan, they're looking at winter storm, like 7 to 10 inches of snow, and they're really going to get hammered up there. So, we're going to get the couple inches of snow in addition to a light glazing of ice. So if your travels are like in the early morning hours, make sure that you are safe and you take it easy going and take your time and leave early so you make it to your destination safely. Stop. Come here. Stop that. Get over here. I'm not going to listen to that the whole hour. But anyway, lots to talk about this week. Dad, how was your week?
Good. Better today.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was going to talk about. Before the live show today, Dad and I had to go uptown to take care of a couple of things, and we stopped at the Emerald gas station on M57, and Dad was looking. Now, mind you, we're not garbage pickers, but in this particular situation, it paid off. Um, yeah, Dad had some garbage or something he had to throw away, and there were some scratch off tickets in the trash. They're about, I think, what, four? There were $20 tickets each, and Dad was scratching the barcode, and he scanned it. Not a winner. Scanned it. Not a winner. Scanned it. Not a winner. And then he scanned the last one. $50 winner. Hey, $50 in my pocket, Dad says. So, yeah. So Dad's $50 ahead, and it's true what they say. One man's garbage is another man's treasure, and in this case, that deemed true. That deemed effective. So, so yeah, that turned out good. And Amy had a little bit of luck last week on Club Keno. She won a little bit of money, so good for her. I won't disclose an amount, but she won a little bit. Me, I never get lucky. I don't have that kind of luck. Not anymore, anyway. But anyway, it's been one busy week. Yesterday, I spent most of the day writing in my journal and got a lot out into the open. Got it in my journal. And will you do something with him? Stop, Barky.
Want a cookie?
Yeah, he wants a cookie. You said, come here.
Want a cookie?
Okay, go get him a cookie. I don't want to listen to that barking for the next hour. In the journal all day yesterday, and it was very therapeutic and cathartic, to say the least. And I feel refreshed. I feel better. Now, there's a lady friend I've been talking to, for those of you who may not know this. She started to get into journaling, and she says journaling is just it feels great. I didn't know that it would feel this good, just to get my thoughts out on paper, and it's very refreshing. She says, I didn't know that there was some kind of benefit to this. And I said, well, I've been journaling now for over 20 years. I have some kind of benefit from it. Otherwise, I have just wasted the past 20 years of my life. But she's into journaling, and I was happy to help her get started on that. And Dad used to keep a journal. He hasn't kept a journal in years though. You haven't written it. Amy, on occasion, I'll notice that she'll jot down a few things. Um, I don't know her style of journaling because I don't read her journals and she doesn't read mine. Um, oh, okay. Hers are private between me. Between I was just going to repeat what you said verbatim. They're private between Dad and her. Uh, and my journals are very I don't know, I would say they're very varietal. I write about a variant of different things, whether it be national news, local news, or just things that are going on in my life. So I write about a whole different area of things. It has been a rough couple of weeks here in Michigan. We've made the national headlines at least twice that I know of. If you're not aware of the situation, um, excuse me. There was a shooting at Oxford High School, and that had made national headlines. The parents of the shooter were caught. Actually, I heard that they turned themselves in, but other sources say they were caught in East Side Detroit because they were hiding out, and then they were apprehended, taken into custody, and the charges are very serious. Um, I had written down the charges somewhere in my journal. I just don't have the journal with me. And the bonds, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. The bonds are $500,000 and they cash a piece per person. So you're looking at $1 million between, the two of them. And that's a cash bond. The son, they the charges are pretty serious. They got him. Hold on, hold on. They got him. You're getting ahead of me. I'm climbing up to that point. Give me a minute here. Uh, the charges stem from act of terrorism causing death to felony firearm possession to first degree murder. And there's like 24 counts total. And it's looking really, really bad. But there were 4 victims in that tragedy, and the one who passed away the next day after the shooting, I had read that his parents had donated his organs. So a part of that kid will live on in other people, which it's sad that their lives were cut short. These are teenage kids, in the prime of their youth. They're only 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. And it's really a shame. My heart and my love and condolences go out to the families of those victims. And for those of you who aren't really familiar, in proximity to me, Oxford would be southeast. So, in other words, it's more closer to Pontiac and Oakland County. It would be southeast of Chesaning, where I'm from, and it's made national headlines. It's all we ever hear about on the local news lately, and it's really, really sad. It is just a devastating thing to happen. And I didn't hear about that. A lot of schools in the area, they decided to call off classes on Friday, I think it was. Um, at least 24 different districts were closed on Friday, just for safety precautions, because I guess the threat level was heightened. And Holly, what it is, not just that, but there's the kids are making threats on social media, and that's actually a felony. Even just to say it is a felony. You cannot make a threat. And the police are not taking that serious, or they're not taking it lightly. They are taking it seriously. They're not taking it delicately. And that's the way it should be. You cannot take a threat lightly like that, to that degree. That's very serious stuff you're talking about. It's very just you don't joke about things like that. But it's been really hectic here in Michigan these past couple of weeks. And before that, there was a house explosion in Flint. Um, a 4-year-old little girl died as a result of that, and a 55-year-old had died as a result of that. So it has been a crazy couple of weeks here in Michigan. We've made the national headlines at least twice that I'm aware of. The third, and if I had to say, if we were mentioned a third time, it would have to be due to the COVID, because Michigan currently leads the nation in the highest COVID hospitalizations in the entire United States. Um, it's I mean, some hospitals are even turning people away, ambulances, because of the fact that they're so overrun with patients. Um, Owasso, I heard Owasso was turning people away because they're packed. They're packed to limited capacity. They can't. They just don't have the room. Flint and Saginaw.
ER for about a day and a half before they finally got her around.
Yeah, it's really bad here in Michigan. It's gotten really bad here in Michigan between the COVID and just everything else happening. We've made national headlines at least twice that I know of, but I'm pretty sure if we did make headlines a third time, the COVID would be the reason that we were mentioned. It's been really bad. So how was my week other than all the noise in the news? My week was pretty good. Talking to friends on Facebook, emailing, texting. Yeah, it's been pretty good. Writing in the journal, which as I pointed out, I spent a majority of Saturday writing, and it's very, very helpful. It's very beneficial to me, and it helped me tremendously. Um, and everything here is going pretty good. We're just taking one day at a time. Amy's just not feeling well today. Got stomach ache, I think. And the weather changing, and it's really snowing outside, like really hard. Yeah, after matter of fact, when I'm after the show here today, we're probably going to have the biscuits and gravy. Biscuits and gravy sounds really good right now. Yeah, we were at Frank's Supermarket earlier, and it was bone dry. It was just gray and gloomy. We proceed to the checkout. We look out their big window, and the snow was just blowing in the parking lot. It's like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, we were just in here, not even 5-10 minutes. Yeah, it wasn't doing anything. And then suddenly, bam, just like that. Yeah, it was crazy. It's like I don't know. Just absolute. That's Michigan weather for you, though. I mean, the shirt here, I wanted to show you guys a shirt too that Amy got, which I don't expect anything from her, but she's over there smiling, got a shit-eating grin on her face. It says, "No matter where I roam, Michigan will always be home." And I like this shirt because Michigan is my home. Born and raised, and I'll die here. So I do like it, and it's a perfect fit too.
Trying to get Dad to get it for you, but no one's wearing Michigan in my house.
Yeah. Well, it's not even the team. It's about the state in general. It's Michigan. Yeah, it's not Wolverines or Spartans or anything. It's just the state. Yeah. That was you're talking about the Ohio Buckeyes. Yeah. That wasn't state. That from 2004. Yeah. That was the Wolverine. I don't watch football. I'm not a football fan, but yeah, the trophy. I don't remember what it's called. I'm not a football fan. I don't know any of that stuff. Dad pays attention to it on occasion. I'm only aware of what's going on because my friends on Facebook post about it, and that's really the only way I know about it. They're rooting for their favorite team and their post, and it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. But yeah, that I like the shirt. I really like it. So I did run into a couple of problems last week, and I figured I would address that while I'm here and just kind of try to keep it as brief as possible. Um, so it's no secret I've had problems with a few people, for the longest time. And one of them actually made a fake email address. The Jack Karstens made a fake email address. Jack's back to it at gmail.com. Go fuck yourself, dude. Russ Boggs. Um, just emailing me with stupid stuff. Oh, you're a fraud. Oh, you got a mole on your Facebook friends list, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, because I am really good friends with most everybody on my friends list. They wouldn't be on my fucking friends list if I didn't have some kind of connection with them. I'm sure I would catch on by now. If there was a mole on my friends list, and even still, even if there was a mole on my friends list, who are they reporting to, and what exactly are they reporting? What have I done? See, it's just there are total and complete failures and losers in the world, and people like that who email me stupid stuff saying that illiteracy runs in my family. Well, so is that a cheap shot against illiteracy in general? Because even if I did have illiterate relatives, what the fuck does that matter? So you have a prejudice against illiteracy. Well, good for you, jackass. So thank you for at least demonstrating to me that you have a prejudice against people with learning disabilities, you fucking asshole. That's number one. Number two, this person also said that I'm a fraud. How am I being fraudulent? You haven't demonstrated where I'm being fraudulent in anything whatsoever. Do I talk shit about people? No more than you talk shit about me. I just keep it on a level playing field. And the difference, Jack Karstens, is that I don't hide my face. I don't disguise my voice. I will look right into this camera, actual voice, and tell you how much of a fucking moron you are without hesitation. So congratulations. You have once again deemed yourself to be the lying, smug prick that you've always been. And it's no secret. It never was. Um, it's just people have nothing better to do. Russ Boggs is a loser. He is a failure. He has nothing better to do than to make up bullshit, fake ass names on the internet or elsewhere to attack and belittle me because somehow, and this goes for Beth Stevens too, and Nikki Scott, somehow these people are just so infatuated with me and my life. I have such an interesting life that they focus all of their attention on me. Well, thank you for making me the top of your priorities. I must be so important to these people.
They talk for a little man behind a fucking
Yeah.
screen.
And Nikki Scott, she's just a shit for brains Nimrod anyway. I've had issues with before. She can write all the disgusting, horrible shit she wants to say about me on her Facebook. I really don't fucking care because your bitch ass is blocked. Anyway, so how do you like those apples, Nikki? You can take your fucking Facebook and all your little flunky friends and swallow them. And do not pollute the world with any more of your crotch goblins, please. We don't need any more of your stank roaming this planet. Please do us all the favor and keep your fucking legs closed. Hello. But anyway, now I got that off my chest. I feel great. I feel better. I feel better.
Wow, I feel good.
Yeah, like I feel great, like James Brown.
Yeah.
But no, I just don't get people, man. They got no life. They pay more attention to me and what I do. They look for clues, right? Oh, what's he talking about on YouTube? Oh, he's back on Facebook again. Now we can go and lie to people about him and make up a bunch of shit to try to turn those people against Jared. That's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And if they do, well, that's their loss. That's their loss. They want to believe idiot losers like you and they want to listen to lies and bullshit. Have at it. Have at it. I'm living my life. I'm doing what I got to do. And anybody who really genuinely knows me should know better. So, but anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. That feels so much better. In addition to writing on Saturday, filling up pages in my journal, I feel more refreshed than I did yesterday after I'd written 7 pages in my journal. That was very cathartic and therapeutic, telling people to fuck off and they can continue fucking right off into the sunset. Wouldn't bother me in the least. But, biscuits and gravy does sound good. Yeah, kind of switching the subject a little bit, but we were at Frank's Supermarket, and it is getting cold outside, and biscuits and gravy does sound good. I cleaned out my stock pot so I can make another batch of my delicious chili. My chili has become a hit around here, and I also bought some ingredients for my taco salad. Yeah, taco salad in December. We don't discriminate. Food is food, and when it's good, it's good. So I enjoy cooking and preparing food, and yeah, I was here last week. Um, I hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. Obviously, they can't. I can't. Well, I can ask them, but there's no way for them to respond because there's no live stream chat or comments. But I hope your Thanksgiving was good. Although it's been a week, a couple weeks, something like that. The next holiday is Christmas, and I cannot wait for that to be over with. Uh, However, I did go to Bronner's last week in Frankenmuth, and I'm not going to say who I got the gift for, but I got a gift for a very good friend of mine, and I'm going to deliver it on Monday or tomorrow, if the roads are good and if we're able to travel tomorrow. I'm going to deliver the gift to my buddy, and I hope he and his wife will like the gift that I had personalized for them. So, um, not to give away too many hints, but I'm pretty sure someone watching this is going to catch on eventually. But anyway, yeah, I was in Frankenmuth. It wasn't as packed at Bronner's like it usually is around this time of the year. Um, give it time though. Well, give it time. I mean, we're getting closer to Christmas, and yeah, there's a new variant of COVID, so that's going to drive people away. It's not going to bring them to the store, but it's usually packed around. The closer we get to Christmas, Bronner's actually gets more filled and more packed with customers. No, that wasn't Bronner. That was Dorothy Zender. Dorothy Zender from Frankenmuth just celebrated 100th birthday. So happy birthday, Mrs. Zender. And I have never been to Zender's, the restaurant. They have they got what's known as the world famous chicken. I love Frankenmuth. I wish I could say I was a native of Frankenmuth. But Chesaning in its heyday was pretty good. I remember growing up in Chesaning. We had a lot of wonderful times in Chesaning. Frankenmuth is known for their ice sculptures and Bronners and Zenders, and now Greta Van Fleet. They're taking the world by storm. I'm so proud of those boys. What else is Frankenmuth known for? They filmed a movie in Frankenmuth. They sell Mackinac Island fudge in Frankenmuth, but Mackinac Island fudge is known in Mackinac Island, Mackinac City. But they do have fudge shops in Frankenmuth and German sausage shops and things like that. They sell sausages and cheeses and wines and fudge, and they got the horse and buggy. I mean, I hope you've watched the videos of Frankenmuth that I posted here on my YouTube channel. But they are known for many things. There's people who visit Frankenmuth from all over the globe. They come from Antarctica and New Zealand and just different countries, and it's wonderful that people from different countries from all over the world, they flock to Frankenmuth, to the world's largest Christmas store, and I don't have a problem promoting Bronner's on my channel. I love Bronner's. I love the store. The holiday itself, not so much. Uh, People ask me all the time, "Well, how do you love the Christmas store but not the Christmas holiday?" Easy, because I can leave the fucking store. Um, I can go in it and leave it as I please. Now with the holiday, I can't stop the holiday from approaching. Nobody can. But the holiday itself is depressing for a lot of people, and for good reason. The store, on the other hand, it's open 361 days a year. I can walk in and leave as I please. That's the difference. I can't stop time. I can't turn back the hands of time. I can only accept it for what it is and say, okay, it's Christmas. Everybody's in the Christmas spirit. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't escape that. Well, not till I'm dead. But while I'm living, I just suck it up and just go with the flow. I don't have to like Christmas, but that doesn't mean that other people shouldn't be able to enjoy it as well. And I think that's really the rudimentary basis of the holiday. I don't have to enjoy it. Other people can if they choose. That's entirely up to them. I used to love Christmas. Um, People were putting up their Christmas trees like right after Halloween, like on November 1st. People were putting up their Christmas trees. It's like, holy shit, you just took down your fucking Halloween ornaments and decorations and shit. Uh, and you're already putting up your trees? Oh yeah.
Christmas, Halloween.
Which reminds me,
That one we got a picture of the other day.
yeah, which reminds me, I gotta get over to Henderson.
Yeah, get a picture of them.
Get a picture of Uncle Danny's house when it's lit up.
They got it all.
Uncle Danny's got it. He's got it decked out. I'm gonna have to get over there one of these nights and get a picture of Uncle Danny's house, and because and you know, my Uncle Danny, he's lived there since the early '70s, I believe, or maybe late '70s. I can't remember. Oh, you know, I'm confusing that. Uncle Danny and Annie Lane were married in 1974. Um, and I think they live in Chesnang when they got married.
Yep. They lived in Chesnang, and then they bought a whole.
Then they bought the house in the '70s. I don't remember. I'd have to talk to Uncle Danny about that. But he was telling me, you know, how that all played out. Uncle Danny and Annie Lane, they've lived there in Henderson for years, for decades. And their house is usually always decked out around Christmas, and it's beautiful. There's people who drive by and take pictures, and um, it's awesome. Yeah, Halloween. Uncle Danny goes all out on Halloween. It is just the coolest thing ever. Um, well, yeah, he's got lots of grandkids. Uh, but one of these days or nights, I'll buzz over to Henderson and take a picture of Uncle Danny's house when it's all lit up. Um, Put it on social media. But yeah, and they already had the train ride.
And they're the only ones in Henderson that gets their house lit up.
Yeah,
They already had the candle walk too.
yeah, I know they had the candle walk, but they already had the train ride from Owasso to Ashley. They've already done that. I didn't know.
Uncle Danny's got a
Um,
house in Henderson that's lit up like a Christmas
yeah,
tree.
yeah, yeah. Uncle Danny's house is the most lit up. I think he's the only one who really actually goes all out on Christmas. But again, as Dad pointed out, he's got lots of grandbabies, and they love, you know, seeing all the decorations, and they love all the lights. So, in other words, I guess you could say a piece of Bronner's is at Uncle Danny's house. Yeah, like a little mini Bronner's, but like 40, I don't know, 45 miles away, something like that. However far Frankenmuth and Henderson are apart from one another, but it's really cool. I'll have to get some pictures, or maybe, you know, stand in the street and take a quick video. You know, well, if I'm standing in a public street, I mean, you know, it's public, but I don't think he would care. I mean, there's people who they drive by and take pictures anyway, or they drive around Henderson and they, you know how people will drive around and look at all the lights, decorations. They do that anyway.
I'd like to have him get the one up by the hospital that plays the music and
Oh yeah, where it's synchronized with the up by the hospital. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, you know, we haven't put up a Christmas tree. Yeah, we haven't put up a Christmas tree in a long time. We don't even put up decorations. We, as I pointed out last week, we just have no real reason to. Uh, but you know, we get through the day. We do prepare a meal, like we'll have a ham, mashed potatoes, gravy, whatever. Kind of like Thanksgiving 2.0.
who knows what we're having this year.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do for Christmas this year. My brother wants me to go to his house for Christmas. Um,
I mentioned that I'd like to have a Christmas with my 3 kids, my boys, and
yeah,
my family together.
yeah, having all of us kids together, and
I'd
um,
like that. That'd be nice.
yeah,
It'd be a
it
good Christmas
it
present
it
for
would
me.
be nice.
Some pictures, you know, of the kids. But I don't think it's gonna happen with Wayne.
Yeah, I don't want to put out too much information here because it's not for the fucking world to know, let alone care. But there's been a bit of a falling out with my brothers, and you know that's something they have to sort out. They got to work that out on their own. But hopefully they make amends before Christmas. I would hope, um, because you know Dad wants us all of us together, and only time will tell.
Doesn't help either when your oldest one decides, okay, mom wants this, so let's do what mom wants,
Yeah,
not what dad wants.
I mean, you know, whatever happens. But I hope they actually, you know, square things away and make a truce, you know, as brothers should. But anyway, yeah, I actually after I left Bronner's, I stopped in Saginaw. I made a drive to Saginaw, went to my brother Wayne's house. He was still sleeping. Um, yeah, he hasn't been feeling too well. Something I don't know. Maybe it's the change of the weather or something's going on. I have no idea, but he's got gallstones. Well, he's had that problem for quite a long time.
You can't eat real hot stuff either. You got all
Yeah. Well, yeah, he has to be very selective in what he eats because of the gallstones.
And the ulcers.
And ulcers. Oh. So he couldn't eat my chili then because I add onions and green peppers, which I don't know how corn. I don't put corn in my chili. I put just all I add, of course, the meat, stewed tomatoes, tomato juice. I add chopped onion, chopped green pepper, and that's it. Chili powder, salt, pepper. That's it. That's all I add. I don't add corn. I don't know. Corn doesn't belong in chili, in my opinion. Some people would disagree. Oh yeah, we do have that venison in the freezer. I got my stock pot cleaned out best as I can. Although Dad mentioned something about washing, you know, using bleach to take the stuff out of the bottom of the stock pot. But yeah, I just use stewed tomatoes and tomato juice, tomato sauce. Do I use tomato sauce? Yeah, tomato sauce. Um, yeah, the meat, of course. Chili powder, onions, and green peppers. That's it. And yeah, Dad tops his with shredded cheese. Dad says, "Well, I'm kind of jealous because your chili tastes a whole lot fucking better than mine does." Well, I don't know. I just
You've got people that don't eat chili eating chili.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, she's not a fan of chili, but then she tried my chili, and she couldn't resist my chili because Jerry Bear can cook.
Man, I put shredded cheese in my
Yeah, the shredded cheese is optional. If you want to add shredded cheese, you be my guest. Go right a fucking ahead and add whatever you want extra to your chili. But yeah, it's not Hormel. No disrespect or disregard to Hormel, but I make my own chili. I make homemade chili here. I don't buy the pre-made canned chili. I make my own. Oh, and how could I forget? I add kidney beans. I add the red kidney beans to my chili. Um, yeah, how could I have forgotten the beans? You got to have beans with chili.
And it's weird because I don't like the kidney beans or the
Yeah.
lima beans,
Yeah,
You eat kidney beans?
but I eat them
yeah.
in the
Lima beans, I don't
chili.
like myself, but
Dad,
kidney beans? Oh, yeah.
yeah, Dad doesn't like guacamole on nachos because it looks like baby shit, according to him. Uh, yeah, I'm not a big fan of guacamole, but I don't mind eating it if I have to. But it's not something I would eat every day. But it's just how I was raised. You know, you had to at least try everything once, and you had to eat what was put in front of you. That kind of thing, which is a rarity nowadays. I never hear parents forcing their kids to at least try something. And if you don't like it anymore, you don't have to have anymore. But there's also times when there's nothing else, and that might be all you have. And so that's what you're stuck with. And sure enough, I've had to eat a lot of things I really wasn't crazy about, but um, because the thing is sometimes you get caught in those situations. You don't have a choice, and that's all you have, and that's what you got to eat.
Like if you didn't eat it good, it would be a breakfast.
Oh yeah. I can't recall a time when I've had boiled dinner for breakfast
Exactly.
or Spanish rice for breakfast. I really even now I don't care for Spanish rice. I'm just not a fan of Spanish rice. Well, no, I didn't like it even when I was a kid. I just didn't like it. Um, I don't know. Even my mom adds bacon to her Spanish rice. I never liked Spanish rice. No, fried rice. I love fried rice, but just not Spanish rice.
You hear what that guy said this morning when Jared said that there was 17 in the family?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what dad is referring to, um, there's a local news reporter. There's a local news reporter. He'll do a Facebook live stream, and I'll go on his page, and he knows who I am. He'll say, "Hi, Jared, how you doing?" and hope the family's doing well and such. And he talks about his children, his wife, his daily life, and he's doing dishes, and we were talking about the number of children and families and such, big families. And I told him, I said, well, my grandmother had 17 children, and my mom is the last of 17, which is no bullshit. Um, and he says, 17 kids? Are you kidding me? He says, was your grandma Catholic by chance? Not that I know of. And he says, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't get mad. I'm kidding. Of course not. It was a joke.
I'm gonna have some haters on here.
He says, now definitely I'm going to have people, throwing me under the bus for making a joke. I'm not going to throw you under the bus. It was funny. I laughed. Dad laughed. It was funny. It was hilarious. But yeah, my grandma did actually have 17 children. Between 1942 and 1962. And my mom was number 17, born in October of 1962. And she will probably kill me if she found out that I was giving away her age. um, but she is the last surviving out of all the kids. Um, yep, that's it's just nature running its course. But a lot of people couldn't believe it. Like 17 kids. Your grandma took a beating having all those kids. I don't know her. I guess what I was told, what grandma always used to say about that, is that she needed a hobby on Saturday night. So, I mean that would explain nearly 20 kids. That sounds like grandma. If I knew her any better, which I don't remember my grandma. Uh, I was a baby when she died. Um, but yeah, I listen to a lot of live streams on Facebook and just listening to people talk. And they make some very valid points, or they just talk about their families, and they talk about life as like as I talked to today, a news reporter. He talks about life in general. He tries to get people to follow his page, and he's a really nice guy. He lives in the same county I do, Saginaw County, and yeah, he's just a really nice guy. And I'm hoping one day, I have a pretty good idea of the community he lives in. I don't know for sure. I'm not someone who stalks or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure I know where he lives. He's kind of mentioned the name of a community a few times. And I'm hoping one day, as I'm just casually passing through his community, I might see him outside walking his dog or outside playing with the kids, because, of course, I would, drive up and say, "Hey, how's it going? It's me, it's Jared." Um, he actually referred to me as the king of Chesning in one of his Facebook live streams. Yeah, yes. He says, Jared is the king of Chesning. I don't know about that. I might be the king of something, but not Chesning. But he knows I'm from Chesning, and yeah, a lot of people know who we are because we're inseparable. Dad and I are. Usually where you see one, there's the other. But when I'm by myself, people ask me, "Oh, you're not with your dad today?" No, I'm perfectly capable of getting around on my own without my dad, but thank you for asking. And sometimes dad will go out by himself, and people will ask, "Well, where's Jared? How's Jared doing?" "Oh, he's home, or he's out doing his thing, or, he's doing all right."
Especially when you go to your family, your uncles.
Yeah, my relatives,
Got all
the cousins. Yeah.
calling you, "Where's Jared? Where's Jared?
See, I don't see
Get Jared here."
I don't see a lot of my relatives as much as I used to. I can love them from a distance, but they don't necessarily invite me to their house either, which I don't mind. I don't care. I love being by myself. I always have. Um, but on occasion, like especially during the summer, they'll have a birthday party and they'll say, "Yeah, you're more welcome to join us, Jared. Come up, have cake and ice cream, and hang out with the family for a while." Okay. But I don't know. I usually don't stick around very long. I'll sit and talk for a few, but then I kind of start to feel out of place, and yeah, even with my own relatives, yeah, I got to admit, I do feel out of place on occasion. And so I just show myself to the door, have a nice life. I'll catch you on the flip side. And usually they'll contact dad and say, "Well, where'd Jared go? Why did he leave so soon?" Um, Well, you all are conversing and visiting amongst yourselves, and you kind of just push me off to the side. So I'm not going to be treated like an afterthought. Good fucking bye. I'm gone. So that's how it is. What it is, because I don't smoke weed. I don't smoke pot. Well, no, it's not cigarettes. The minute I stopped smoking weed was the minute that they stopped inviting me or asking me to do things with them, because I'm not a pothead. I'm not a stoner. I don't have anything against people who smoke weed. I'm not, going to sit here and try to make it sound like, you're a criminal for smoking pot. Isn't that right, Amy? Nothing wrong with doing the 420, but
It's 420 somewhere.
yeah, I prefer not to do it anymore. I mean, it's my personal choice. You done a 360? How? Well, I don't know if you guys watched the video I posted here on my YouTube channel about a little joke about ice fishing. But if you didn't get a chance to see it, I'll reiterate briefly. So the joke was, Dad and I were having a conversation about ice fishing. Dad says, "I haven't been ice fishing in years." And I said, "Well, there's something I don't quite understand about ice fishing." And he says, "Yeah, what's that?" I said, "Which bait do you use to catch ice? Ice fishing. Which bait do you use to catch ice?" And I told my brother that joke last night because he stopped in, and he had to think for a minute, and he was like, "Oh shit." It was starting to, you know, gone.
Yeah, a lot of people use,
Yeah, they use peas. Yes, they use peas. They open a can of peas, they cut a hole in the ice, they put a can of peas around the hole, and when a fish comes up to take a pea, you hit him in the head with a board. That's an old joke. It's an old joke. But the one about ice fishing is the one I wanted to talk about because that was my joke. Um, but anyway, yeah. So I forgot what I was going to say now. Gee, thanks, Dad.
ice hole. Ice.
But it is a time. I guess now we're getting the right weather for ice fishing. Although I have never been ice fishing in my life. You couldn't get me out on the ice. Not for that. I'm not a fisherman anyway, so I guess it really doesn't make much of a difference. But
Ice fishing once, he had a hole.
yeah,
Some other guy come up, kicked him in the ice hole.
yeah,
Kicked him in the
yeah.
ice hole.
It's like
Yeah.
Grandpa Fuller. I went over to, and my grandpa is a comedian. I mean, he's just some of his jokes are fucking hilarious. Well, I was over there one day, and Dad was drinking coffee, and they were talking about going fishing up north. Grandpa said he has been to some of the nicest rivers in Michigan, Osable and Tobacco River, and all the places up north. And he said, "Well," and he asked me. He says, "Well, you know, son," he says, "Did you hear about the fisherman? He over at the Cass River in Frankenmuth?" I said, "No. What about him?" He said, "Well, it was on the front page of the Saginaw News that he was the greatest master baiter." Masturbate, and I had to think masturbator. Oh, and Grandpa about fell out of his chair laughing because right then I knew he was bullshitting. Uh, the world's greatest masturbator. Okay. Uh,
If you work at a fish factory,
yeah.
a bait shop, yeah.
Well, no, he said it was. Never mind. I'm not going to repeat it. Uh, yeah. So we like to keep things lively. We joke around. We keep each other in line. Keep each other on our feet.
He jokes around a lot because he's by himself.
Well, I'm not talking about Grandpa now. I'm talking about the three of us.
Yeah,
We do what we have to do to stay lively and active around here. And survival is always number one. That's what we do. Try to, anyway. We got our winter taxes in the mail. We owe about $600 on those. And everything's gone up. Those are due in February. We'll get that taken care of. We just paid or we're going to pay propane. I'm trying to think when is that due?
1 month from the day we got it.
Okay.
Next month.
All right. So we should be good to go. But I'm just going to save out the money for the propane. That way I'll have the money for the taxes in February, the following month. Because I thought about that. It's like, well, at first I'm thinking, well, it's not due until 1 month from the day they delivered. I could still probably spend my half of the money on the propane, which was only like $100. But then it's like, nah, I better not because I don't want to cut myself short in the next check. So I'll just leave it the way it is. I'll play it smart and do that. Just make sure I've got the money so I'm not shorting myself on the propane. I'll have the money to pay my half of the property taxes. So we'll just leave it the way it is. Don't fuck anything up, Jerry Bear, because you don't want to end up in debt. That's what I tell myself all the time. Play your cards right and you'll be good to go. So I've been here for almost the entire hour. We're now at 49 minutes into the show. And for the last 10 minutes of the show, I don't know what else to talk about. I think I have exalted all of the points of the past week. What do you want to talk about?
People need to lock their guns up. Put their guns, have their safeties on their
Well,
guns, and that, so people don't take their guns and kids don't take them. And
I would say that that's common sense, but common sense isn't so common. And when you have people like the Kremleys who, I mean, he went with his kid to buy the fucking gun.
Yeah, on Black Friday.
And it's like, how are you proud of that? I mean, if you're going to be a responsible gun owner, fine. Fine. Responsible gun owner. But there were innuendos. Wow, interrupt me mid thought. There was an innuendo from the young man, the shooter. His name is Ethan Crumley. He's only 15 years old. There were innuendos saying he can't take it anymore. He can't escape the thoughts in his head, and there were just all kinds of clues that were found after the fact, unfortunately. And uh, even before that, I mean, they should have taken that seriously. You know, statements being made like "fuck Oxford" and you know, I can't escape the thoughts in my head. And I guess he had drawn a depiction of someone getting shot, is what the report had come out on the news. Um, it is just a tragedy what happened in Oxford, and I don't want to give too much time talking about the shooter, and I don't want to give too much attention to his parents. But you know, that kind of thing is just every time I hear about a school shooting, it makes me so sad, or just a mass shooting in general, where innocent people are dying. Uh, it's really, and again, my heart goes out to the families of those victims. I don't remember the names right off. Um, I would have to check in my journal or pull up my Facebook because I did write the names down on Facebook. But it is absolutely terrible. The world that we live in, the conditions of our world are in a sad state of affairs. And you know, I think about this a lot when it comes to gun rights and gun ownership and things like that. Of course, I'm not blaming the guns because it's not the fault of the gun. It is the fault of the person standing behind the fucking trigger. And so what I'm trying to do is think of a way, like I don't have the solutions to the world's problems, but I think of how this problem could be combated in a different way. And I have yet to come up with a reasonable answer to that question, or a solution to that problem, because I don't know. And it's going to take more than just one person to try to figure something out. I feel bad that things like this happen. I don't dismiss the fact that there are people grieving daily over tragedies, senseless tragedies such as the Oxford and tragedies before that, years before that. It has gotten entirely out of control. And to those people who say they offer their thoughts and prayers, you can take your thoughts and prayers and shove them up your fucking ass. Thoughts and prayers are ineffective. They do nothing to better the situation. And instead of sitting around offering your best wishes and good wishes, why don't you use that time? Why don't you utilize those thoughts to try to think of something more productive to do to prevent future tragedies and events like this from happening? Because your prayers aren't doing a fucking thing anywhere for anyone. And those are my thoughts on that. We need to do more than just thoughts and prayers. That doesn't mean shit. Um, it doesn't solve the problem. I mean, of course, nothing is going to bring back the victims. I am just so sick to death of hearing about thoughts and prayers at every fucking mass tragedy that happens in this country. Oh, people are getting shot and killed. Oh, thoughts and prayers. People are dying stupidly and senselessly over dumb shit. Oh, thoughts and prayers. You can keep your thoughts and prayers. I have no time for prayers. It's stupid. It's pointless. It does nothing. If you want to have thoughts and prayers, keep them to yourself. I'm not saying don't pray. I'm who am I to tell you not to pray? Right? You're going to do what you want. Uh, you have that right to believe, not believe, pray, not pray, whatever. But when you offer them publicly or out into the open, it does nothing to better the problem. Now, when I say I keep those families in my heart and in my condolences and such, that's all I can do. I'm not saying my prayers go out to the families, because prayer does not do anything. It's ineffective. We need to do actual practical things. We need to stay on top of things, and we need to physically, actively do something to change what is happening in this country, because it's getting out of fucking hand. And we have become so desensitized to what's happening in this country when it comes to violence, in particular with guns.
The weather must have changed to snow and rain here.
Yeah, I can hear it tinging off the air conditioner. But and save your hate mail. Oh, Jared has a thing against people who pray. Well, when it comes to things like this, you're goddamn right I do. Because your prayers aren't doing shit to change anything. Get out there and actually do something worth a damn. You can save your thoughts and prayers, but get out there and actually try to promote positive difference, positive change in this country. We need to take our country back. And that's my rant on that particular subject. But in any event, my condolences and my love goes out to the family of the victims of the shooting. That's really all I can say about that. There's nothing I can do myself that's going to change anything, and there's nothing that anybody. But collectively, if we push and we strive towards the betterment of society, so we have better protections, and we do whatever we have to do, whatever means necessary to prevent future tragedies like this from happening, I'm all for it. I'm all for it, and I'll support it. And I'll do what I can myself here on the home front to encourage positive gun ownership and people who should get the help that they need if they have mental issues. Because mental health is also taking a back seat in this country, and I think that's also very fucking disgusting. So those are my thoughts, and I've really got it all out there this week. We have 3 minutes left of the show. I thank you all for stopping by this week. I will be here next week on December 12th. My math is really getting better. On the 12th of December, I will be back. This Saturday, WWE Wrestling is coming to the Dow Event Center in Saginaw. I don't know if tickets are still available or not. You would have to check Ticketmaster or go on doweventcenter.com. You'll find some more information there on tickets. I don't know what the requirements are for going into the Dow Event Center, if any. Do you have to be vaccinated? Do you have to wear a mask or whatever? I have no clue. You would have to talk to someone at the Dow Event Center for that. But yeah, WWE Wrestling. It's not going to be on television, by the way. So don't get your hopes up. It's going to be a house show, which is still fun. I mean, I've been to house shows. Saginaw's just not big enough for a televised event. Not like Detroit or Grand Rapids, but Flint and Saginaw, they're doable for a house show. I've been to house shows in both Flint and Saginaw, and I actually saw John Cena in Flint, and I saw the Big Show actually step off the tour bus, and the whole front end of that bus, boom, when he stepped off, and I'm not making things up. When he stepped off that bus, that whole front end of that bus went down and sprung right back up. So the shocks and struts on that bus are pretty fucking good. I mean, that's a lot of weight. Big Show is not a little guy. Paul White is a big dude. But that was years ago. He's not even with WWE anymore. He went to AEW, I believe. So that's where all the other wrestlers went to, was AEW. Sting and CM Punk and Big Show. I think he goes by Paul White now. But yeah, AEW is what we actually watch all the wrestling programs on television. So yeah, WWE Wrestling, Dow Event Center, Saginaw this Saturday. Be there or be square. So anyway, final words. Dad's on the phone right now, so I highly doubt if he's going to have any final words for this week's show. But if I had to guess, he would ask everybody kindly to take care of yourselves and look after one another, be good to each other, and try to make the world a better place. And Amy, she's here. I don't know if she's got any final words. Amy, do you have any final words?
Peace out. Be safe. Be careful out there on them roads.
Peace out, be safe, and be careful on the roads. Yeah, because it's really yeah, it's getting nasty out there right now as we speak. It is officially 4 o'clock.
I made it do a whole video.
Yeah. It is officially 4 o'clock. My name is Jared Fuller, aka the Jared Bear. I thank you so much for watching this week's edition of the Sunday Video Update. The next show, Sunday, December 12th at 3 o'clock. Hope to see you there. Much love to all of you. I will see you next week. And if you're not subscribed to this channel yet, make sure you are. Always some random content to upload. So much love to all of you. Peace out. Have a wonderful week and be safe out there. And as Dad would say, look after one another. Make sure that you're taken care of. So adios.